Hello everybody, in this tutorial we're gonna make a shader for this statue, and this shader has some interesting things. This is an asset is made in Houdini, and I will provide it for you, so you can find it in the description where to find and download it. And also I actually made it from a high res, and now it's a low res. And if you're interested in how you're going to make these kind of assets and ambient occlusion maps that we're going to use, I also have a tutorial on that, so you can watch that as well. So this material has sliders with the ambient occlusion map, so we can add it to it. Also this moss layer, so we can choose how much moss we want it to be on it. And you can also see we can add the normal moss normal, we can add it here, and also this kind of concrete-ish texture. We have normal on that as well if we want to have it more. And also the the moss is always placed on top. So if you put it down like this, well, then the moss is going to be here. So that's kind of a good thing to have. So what's good about this one is it's a material. If you do the assets correctly, you could just put this material on a lot of statues. Of course, then you might need to combine the ambient occlusion maps and so forth, or you just do more materials and have their own ambient occlusion texture. So let's get started and do this from scratch. So here we are from scratch, and we need a statue. So this statue has this kind of resolution. There are some more resolution in the face, as you can see. And that's because I feel that you tend to look more in the face, and then I want the shapes to be better. So the first thing I want to do, I'm just going to make sure that we get the texture inside. And we do need a material. So I'm going to make a shader graph, URP lit shader graph. So it's going to be the statue moss. And I'm going to make material that we're going to have on this one. So if we open up this and I just put the scene, yeah, we could have it here actually. That's good. So, nah, I want it down here. It feels better. So, let's see, material here. So the first thing, actually I do like this down here, get some more space, perfect. So we have this ambient occlusion texture, and you have ambient occlusion down here, and you also have it in the base color. And I've been experimenting a little bit if I should have it in the ambient occlusion or if I just should put it in the diffuse base color. And I've actually been trying out, and I just wanted to share with you. So this is, you can see here that if I have it in the color, or if I do it in the ambient occlusion, so this is in the color and this is in the ambient occlusion. You see the color gives me better shading. And you see there's color, ambient occlusion, color. You can see it in the belly button. So I'm actually gonna use this in the base texture. Maybe there's reasons why I should use this one, but yeah, I'm gonna have this one. Okay, so there's some wrong mismatch with the statue, and no, this is the thing. This is good to know about the statue. So the statue is so I'm going to show you the correct one. This is the correct one. So this statue has UV map and UV map 1. They have so you see this is the ambient occlusion and this is the for the base texture. So what's really important here is that you make sure that this texture reads from the UV1. And if we save that one, you see now it works. So this is super nice, and we have that set up. Cool. And now we're gonna make sure that we start to do a little bit actually, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm not sure how I want it. I'm just messing around. But I'm happy about this, so I'm gonna make sure I want texture mask. I call it mask. So this is gonna be the mask. We're gonna have it in here. We're gonna save it. So now we have it here, and I'm gonna plug in it here. Perfect. So we want a way to manipulate the ambient occlusion, and we're gonna have a float for that. So we're gonna call it AO amp, could be good. AO amp, that's nice. So we have it here, and where it's black and white, well, I want to control it with a multiplier. So it's actually going to be the reversed. So 1 minus, I'm going to show you. So if so now when the value on this one is when it's 0, 1 minus make it to 1, and if I do this to 1, then this will be 0. So I'm just kind of inverted it, and I'm going to do maximum. So what I do now is, first off, I just do it like simple, right? And if I do 1 here, now you don't see any of this ambient occlusion, because this do maximum, if let's say the value here is 0.5, but this one gonna take 0.5 compared to 1, and 1 is maximum, so it's gonna give us 1. So now it's everything is white. But if we do the ambient and we do this, well, if I just plug it in like this, I'm gonna show you. Now you see 1 is nothing, but 0 is full ambient occlusion. So I just want to invert it like this, and then it works inverted. So 0 is no ambient occlusion, and then here is full ambient occlusion. So that's what we do there. And also I want to add some kind of concrete feeling about this. And the way I'm going to do that is that I'm going to make simple noise. And I'm going to multiply this value with the noise. We're going to save it. So now we have a noise here, and this is pretty much like a concrete feeling, but it's a little bit too dark. So where it's really dark, I want it to be less dark. So I'm just gonna make remap on this one. So this is super nice. If we have 0 to 1, then I want to be if 0, I want it to be higher. I just make sure, let's say, if I do 0.35, now I make sure everything 0 to 1 is remapped into 0.35 to 1, so it will never be darker than this value. And if we save, you see now we have a little bit more concrete feeling. So I think I'm gonna, you see this, this is UV map seams. So if I'm just scaling up the noise even more, we're gonna kind of hide them even more because the noise is getting less, smaller. So I'm gonna have it like this. So I'm happy with this. So this is nice. We have a concrete feeling, and we have this ambient occlusion thing going on. Super nice. And so we could actually just do this a little bit smaller. And we could call this too base texture with noise. This is super nice. We have this part done. So what I want to do now, I want to do a mask, because I want to put moss on top of this statue. So by doing that, I can do this with normal. Well, actually, I do the normal vector, and if we take the normal vector and we do the dot product, and we make sure it's gonna compare the normal on all these objects, gonna compare the dot product from an upwards normal. So here we do up, or we could do -1, or we could do, other directions, but we're gonna make it up. So now we kind of so what happened is, if we do so I paused to check and find an explanation about the dot normal, but I didn't find what I was looking for. That's so weird. So, but let's see, if you look at this thing, right? If you have this normal here, and then this one normal represent upward, right? So let's say this normal, if it compared with this normal, that will give the dot product 1. And when it's like this direction compared to an upwards normal, it's actually 0. And if it's a normal pointing down, then it's -1. So that's what you so this is the values you will get. You will get it from 0, -1 up till 1. So what you want to do, because this value, you need to remap it, right? And or actually you can just clamp it. You do like this. If you do saturate, everything that's below 0 will always be 0. So -1 will be clamped to 0 here. So now we have a value between 0 and 1. And then we could just do remap, and I'm gonna explain why we do a remap again. Well, but first let's save this for later. But if we just do this one, so now we can see what I mean. So everything in the top is white, but everything from below is black. So this is how we can mask and know how and where to put the moss. And if we do this remap, we could actually, if we do also a vector 2, so this is a vector 2 here. So now it's the same thing as before. But what we want to do, we want to have a mask. A mask is going to be threshold. And that's going to be between 0 and 1. And what you want this one for? Well, now you're going to map this value 0 to 1 between 0 and whatever you do to mask threshold. So now you see that you kind of add it in. So this is a way to add the moss for us. So that's going to be nice. It's a moss slider. So now we kind of made a mask, and we're going to use this mask and have it to add. We can do the color moss color 1, and we can actually, we're going to have 2 of these later, so I can make them now. But let's say we do that like this. When we do have, so let's see. So where it's white, so that means when this value gives 1, and this is the 1 value, it's going to be moss. And when it's black, we're going to have the original texture. So we're going to do like this. And if we save, and we change the moss value to something mossy, now you see we have starting to get the shape, well, the thing that we want. So this is super nice. So I'm gonna, yeah, this is good. So this we're gonna just wrap up and call it like, let's move this here. And we're gonna call this part mask from dot. So that's nice. So what we want to do now, we want the noise, this green, we want it to look more mossy, right? So we're gonna use some noise for that. So if we do noise, and if we only do moss color 1, and we do moss color 2, well, that's the same one as here, and we do a lerp. So now we could use, if we only do, if you use the noise as a mask, now we could actually, instead of having the green color, we just plug in this one here. So we're going to make sure that all right, okay, we need this one here. Sorry. So the moss color 1, we're going to make a moss color. We're gonna make the same in color 2, but a little bit brighter. And if we save this, you see now we're starting to get a little bit mossy. And if we just copy this here and paste it here, now you see it's a little bit more as I intended. So we're getting the moss. So this is super nice. And Actually, we could make it a little bit more, yeah. I'm gonna tweak the noise a little bit more, but before I do that, I'm gonna stop this recording and continue in the next tutorial because I feel the tutorial gets a little bit long now. So thank you so much for watching and see you in the next tutorial.